I had a challenge last time for 2 weeks. How'd you guys do?
Oh, Dan did a
Actually,
fantastic 5
yesterday-
weeks, and then 5 pounds, and then 3 pounds.
Yeah,
Wow.
last
He's
week I
really
lost
kicking
5
it.
pounds. This week, Tuesday, I lost 3 pounds.
You're doing fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, you know, one
Because
of
we go to
the,
this class over here.
one of
Lost
the
1 pound.
things
Just so you
about,
know.
You know,
2
all of it-
pounds, he's lost like,
it's harder to lose
women's harder.
any weight when you get older.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make a difference if you are on a starvation diet or keto or whatever. Our bodies are not like they were efficient years
Yeah.
ago. And it's the same way with keto. I don't know if you know who Dr. Boz is or watched any of the videos, but Dr. Boz is a guy that went from like 280 down to 170, but he's a chiropractor and he's in his 50s.
Okay.
It looks like he's about 58 or something. His wife's in that same, and they did talk about that. She's a nutritionist, PhD, teaches at University of California, one of their campuses, UCLA or something. And he's a chiropractor. And they mentioned these thresholds you reach
Yes.
because we're just not that efficient either, you know,
Yeah.
with our bodies. And what I noticed was that I was really losing a lot of weight right up to Christmas time, first of the year, and I started in August. But then it's in spurts. I'm confident the way it is because when I went to my cardiologist, did I tell you I went to the cardiologist since we were?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Tell us again.
He was jumping up and down, literally, God, your markers are all, he says it's gonna start taking me off. He says, we're gonna start to think about taking you off medication, because I take 4 different prescription drugs. I take a
Yes.
blood thinner, I take metoprolol, I take Renaxa, and I take one other of them. But that's because I have electrical problems. I have a aortic valve that's leaking. You know, it doesn't close all the way. He told me that's from calcium buildup. Well, he says that, so they monitor that, but the main issue is that I worry about is that electrical, because sometimes my heart, I can actually feel it working weird.
Oh,
Feel it.
that's a scary feeling.
But they've got that down. Every time I go in, they put me on one of those
How you doing?
machines. Hi, come on in.
These are people we told you is coming.
Anyway, they put me on one of these machines that they hook all these different things up, and then they do a printout. And he said I only had one skip beat this last time,
Wow.
which is a mass improvement from what it was a year ago when my heart electrical system was going all over the place. So I'm convinced it's the change in my nutritional
Yes.
habits and losing 70 pounds and everything. Yeah.
I noticed you've
Well,
lost
you knew how
weight.
big I was.
Yeah.
I could put a coat on and go all the way around. But one of the more I've gotten to this, I've done almost a year on keto. In fact, it's almost August, so it was the first week of August last year that I've been on keto. I'm Dwight.
Dwight, I'm Paula
Okay.
Ricks.
Glad to meet you, Paul. So I have fallen into a pattern like I was in a pattern before of eating. My pattern before was getting up and eating a bowl of cereal in the morning and then starving until I had lunch, and I'd go out to eat and have a burger and fries or whatever, or, fix sandwiches at home and then fix TV dinners and, I was on, and I've talked about this in the other classes, the standard American diet, not thinking, I just had given up on losing weight because I thought, well, my heart condition, I'm in my 70s, this is it, this is where I'm gonna end up at. But that doesn't have to be the fate. You guys know that already, because you've lost a lot of weight, I know that. And, but it's sticking with the new habit, it's forming a new habit of eating. That's what I found. And I haven't eaten since yesterday at 6:30, and I don't brag about that, it's just that I eat between noon and 6, somewhere in that area. those are my hours of eating, and the rest of the time I don't eat. So that I get up in the morning and I have, sometimes I don't do anything, but I'll have a cup of coffee. If I start feeling like my energy's down, I use MCT oil and butter in a cup of coffee, which the doctors would tell you, oh my God, you're gonna have cholesterol through the ceiling. That's not true.
Butter, not margarine,
No,
butter.
butter.
All right.
You know, and I got it at Costco. It's the cheapest place to buy this stuff. But
I wish they had one up
but
here.
what that does is on ketogenics, we burn fat. We don't burn sugar. That's the key right there, is we are fat burners like our ancestors were. We're not sugar burners. And in fact, if we eat too much protein, it'll go into our liver and it'll turn it into sugar. So I mean, it's the reason that the keto people that come up with these diets have given those percentages they do, in my opinion, you know, eat 70% fat, something around 20% protein, and the rest carbohydrate. But that varies. Again, none of us are the same age. None of us have the same metabolism.
Yes.
And I am probably fudge on that sometimes. You know, I might have 40 carbs sometimes. Sometimes I only have 5 carbs if I was counting the carbs, because I never wanted this to be that it was so rigid that I would feel like I was beating myself up and feeling guilty if I did something. Oh, you know, I need to punish myself because I was at Ron Cordova's house and had a bowl of ice cream on his birthday the other night. Sunday night was his birthday party, and it was an ice cream social. I hadn't eaten ice cream since last August.
It tasted good. Oh my God.
You know, but it did bother me. What bothered me was the sugar. I felt the difference when I.
Did it make you feel lethargic?
The next day, it took on Monday. I mean, I felt like I had overdone myself on sugar.
Was this mentally?
So that's another thing.
No.
That
Mentally or physically?
Physically.
I felt it physically.
Physically. Huh.
Yeah, because my
When
body
you
has
go
been.
off, you
See,
know.
my body is getting what's called a fat adapted. That's a term that you'll hear, fat adapted, and because I was sugar adapted, and for decades. And as I said in one of the previous classes, in my opinion, back in about 1975 to 80, right in there, was when they changed the food in this country. And that's when we started getting a lot more TV dinners, a lot more processed foods. The TV dinner craze probably started in the 50s, but it was a novelty, but then people became so busy with their lives, and there were so many choices of processed food that it was, I don't want to, boil potatoes and, peel potatoes, boil potatoes, like our parents did, or we did earlier.
TV dinner.
It was too easy to go down and buy, we're going to get enough TV dinners to last us for the week. That'll be 14 TV dinners and a
Working
couple of
parents,
boxes of Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwiches, and
Yeah.
and the same way with the kids. The kids are killing them. We're really doing a disservice to the younger
Yes.
people by having them on this food. I've heard that the life expectancy of our grandkids are less than ours.
Jeez.
This will be the first time in decades that we haven't had an increase in life expectancy. And it's already dropped in the United States, I think, from 79 down to 78.2 just in the last few years. So people are already living shorter lives, and a lot of people are dying not necessarily in their 70s or 80s, but in their 40s, late 30s, 40s, and 50s. And I've attributed it to the food. But what we need to do on this is find how to buy food at the grocery store that's good for us and avoid the end caps and going down the center aisle, unless you've got to get some pickles or something like that. And so, do you guys have any questions? I don't know if you guys have any questions on. Do you have any experience with keto diet?
I've been trying to go on it, and I'm really trying to do it strict right now, and I did manage to go through like 4 days of, just really strict. But my problem is, right now, where I'm really
Okay.
stuck is to get rid of the protein, because fat has protein in it. I don't have a problem with the carbs. I can get rid of them or get them down to 10 or 20 carbs a day. But to bring the protein down and keep the fat up, I'm having a lot of problems.
Okay, well, let me tell you what I do. I eat an avocado every single day.
Yeah, you'd have one just about, but that
Because
has...
that is fat. Avocados are fat.
Right.
I mentioned MCT oil. That is fat. If I cook something, I cook it in coconut oil. That is fat. And coconut oil doesn't break down like other oils. You want to stay completely away from vegetable oil, even though they're fat. You just don't want anything to do with
It's not good
vegetables
for
or
you.
corn,
Right.
because you get the carbs from the corn or the the different oils are made from some type of high carb grain. But and then I eat olives. I eat on my salads. I have salad dressing, and I put. I found that ranch dressing. What is the kind we get? Anyway, I look on the back of the dressings,
That's right.
and this one has 0 sugar in it and lots of fat. And I use that and olive oil on my salad. So I know I'm getting the fat because I am burning fat. And go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because I've been loading up, putting, like butter in my egg whites,
Yeah.
and also bacon grease.
Mhm.
And then I use olive oil, avocado oil, and coconut oil is what I have now. And then I find that I'm throwing butter in and bacon
Are you
grease
sure you're
because I
not
need
getting
the
enough
fat.
fat, Paula?
What?
How do you know how much fat you're getting? Are you doing one of the apps? Maybe you are getting enough fat, or higher than you think.
Well, I look in that book that they gave us, and I also have
That
my
carb
own,
book.
the calorie book,
Yeah.
and it tells you how many
Okay,
carbs,
'cause I
how
was
much
using that app they
fat,
told us about.
and I think how much protein. But I have another book
Okay.
that has sodium. I mean, it has a list of things. And so on the sheets that they gave us, the log, I have the calorie count, the fat grams, the carb grams, and I've included the protein grams, and that's where I'm having trouble, is keeping the fat up and the protein down and not starving.
Dwight, what we did is Paula and Dan and I, back in February,
Right.
the coalition started a pre-diabetes class
Mhm.
for people that weren't
CDC.
diabetic, the CTC, yeah, and that's what we've been doing since February. And that's where Paula was talking about charts. They're having us track our food, our charts. Though I don't agree with a lot of what they say, because they don't talk about having real food like I think they
Do you do dairy at
But
all?
that's
Old
neither
way.
here,
They're
yeah.
they're the old school.
See, she'll say the same thing.
They
yeah.
are the old
But
school.
that's neither here or there, you know.
And it's not necessarily geared so much to healthy eating as it is to losing weight. They're
Is that what
almost
you
like
think?
Weight Watchers,
Dan and
only
I are
without
always
the
like,
points.
that's
doing
not true. You know,
keeping
we've had
track
a hard
of
time with the
calories.
class.
Well, I
But
don't-
we're still putting
Found
junk in
Dwight,
our bodies
like we're running to him.
because
now.
we're only
Okay.
watching calories and some of us are watching carbs.
And I didn't know if it was
you
because it was a pre-diabetes class.
Okay, what do you use any dairy products?
I have kind of cut those out, and I did have non-fat cottage cheese, and I'm going to switch to the full fat when I
Yeah.
run out.
Because
And
there's
then I
fat.
have the
Cottage cheese.
Carb Master yogurt, which is very low. I mean, it's low in fat, but it's also the only one that really has the reduced carbs, and that's really good if I just mix a little bit in with some cottage cheese. It's like a dessert.
Yeah, well, because fat, dairy is fat. That's what
But
you
it's
already
the
mentioned the
protein.
butter.
Keto says not to do
No.
dairy.
I use, well,
That's where we get confused.
okay, I'll tell you from what I've watched, and I've watched a ton of doctors on YouTube and talked to people. I eat cheese, that's fat.
Right,
I eat bacon, that's fat.
right.
I have whole milk. I'm completely everything my doctors told me I'm doing in the reverse. You know, you gotta get on skim milk. I'm using fat, like, so I get the fat from the milk, cheese, butter, you mentioned yogurt, you know,
What yogurt do you
some
use?
yogurt, avocados, there's lots of things to get a lot of fat. The key is, did you say you were hungry?
Well, yeah, because when I've only been trying this the last, like, 2 days.
Okay, well-
Was to watch my protein and keep my fat up and no carbs, and I find that I really can't eat anything.
Okay, well, yes, you can, because you just started, and there's a process of going into ketogenic lifestyle that it's you might as well just say it's like boot camp or something, because your body is still getting rid of sugar, and I went Spartan when I first started. In fact, I lived off bacon and eggs I was the same way you guys could say, I don't know what to eat, you know, I'm reading all this stuff. So I ate bacon and eggs. I was so hesitant on some of because it was a mental block with me. I mean, God, I'm not supposed to do this. They've been telling me for 40 years I can't eat this stuff. But I stopped, no, I says, I know that the eggs that I was told I was never supposed to eat, I ate a lot of eggs. I ate a lot of bacon. And, you know, and I stayed completely away from bread, cereal,
Right.
cookies,
Right.
potato chip, all of that stuff, crackers, peanut. In fact, I made a mistake, and I would eat peanut butter, and then I found out how much sugar was in peanut butter, and I was sabotaging myself. And so if I'm gonna eat peanuts, it's only a very few, and I don't eat any peanuts that are grown below ground. There's fine grown peanuts. There's a name
Almonds
for
are
them.
better for
It's a peanut, but it's a totally different peanut. But the other thing is nuts. Do you eat any nuts?
Yeah, I've been eating walnuts, and I had some cashews, and I had pistachios, and so, but you know, they're not that filling.
Well, I would stay away from cashews right now. Walnuts, pecans.
I only did that because I was cat sitting at
I
my
mean,
neighbor's.
I love
and they had some.
cashews.
That's my
Can I
favorite.
say
too.
something?
I know, but
Yeah.
but you know, I eat almonds, pecans, walnuts. I have they're hemp hearts, and I get them from Costco. They come in a green bag about like that. I eat chia seeds, I think it's called.
CHIA.
CIA or.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about. I haven't tried that or
I
anything.
haven't
This is
tried
what
it either.
works for me, and it's worked for most of the people that I get up, don't eat until noon, like I said, and I've gotten so used to that I'm not hungry. I haven't eaten today yet. I won't eat until maybe, in fact, my wife is at physical therapy, and when I pick her up, well, I'll probably eat at 1 o'clock or something today. And like I said, it was yesterday that I ate. But then when I do eat, I switch off between having bacon and eggs at noon to having bacon and eggs or something like that at 5 o'clock. So what I'm feeling hungry for now, because I've adapted myself, so now my taste buds have changed and I start feeling what I'm hungry for. I'm feeling hungry for a salad, but the last 3 nights in a row I've been eating salad. Now I feel like I want to have a salad again. But that salad, I put mixed greens on it, or I eat a lot of spinach. So when I go and buy greens, we'll buy those mixed, you know, these plastic things that's already mixed up, or we buy, Betsy doesn't like the spinach like I do, but I eat the baby spinach one. And I'll put that spinach, I put cherry tomatoes in there, I put avocado in there, I put cauliflower in there, I put broccoli in there, I put yellow
Bell peppers.
peppers in there, I put nuts in there, I put chia seeds, hemp heart. This thing is like overflowing. I put spinach, I take asparagus and cut it up and throw it in there. And then like I said, I put salad dressing, but what I don't want to eat too much salad dressing, because that's one of the things I was making a mistake on. So I've adjusted the level of salad dressing down, because I thought, man, I'm using too much olive oil and too much of this ranch. So now I took a spoon and thought, well, what's to say the normal serving is, and I put that on, well, I better add a little bit more because it doesn't taste like enough until it tasted right to me. And then that's where what I put it on. And then I will, oftentimes, if I'm cooking the eggs, I also will fry, if I've got the pan going, I'll put asparagus in there. I eat a lot of asparagus. And I might feel like throwing some broccoli in there. I might feel like some, so even when I'm eating the bacon and dinner, I might be eating more of the vegetables. Just depends on what I'm feeling like doing.
Right.
Because that ends up, and then I eat mushrooms on the salad.
Right.
I also eat mushrooms with the eggs sometimes. It is so variable what we're doing. My wife and I are doing it, and she is the smallest I've ever seen her, and we've been married 23 years. I've never seen her at the size she's at now, ever, and she told me that she hadn't been that size since she was, say, in the 7th grade, and, growing up in El Central. So that's amazing that, because I'm used to looking at her, even though she was on Dr. Atkins going back into the 90s, she never let off Dr. Atkins, and she did lose a lot of weight. Since she joined keto, she's lost another 15, 18 pounds.
Keto is better than that.
Yeah,
What I do with my salad at night is I'll take a 1/4 to an 1/8 of a head of lettuce and take a cup, because it's the non-fat. When I go to the fat, then I think I can reduce it, of cottage cheese. I put dressing on it, tomato, and then I bought green onions, but green onions, they're high in carbs, so I'm gonna chuck those.
Yeah, you gotta cut the stuff that's high in carbs. I wouldn't reintroduce that stuff until you're already fat. Once you start getting fat adapted, you can add some of that stuff.
Right.
But right now, you're trying to get your body burning fat.
Green onions are not good for you?
Well,
I haven't looked at
any
that.
vegetable that grows below the ground has more carbs.
Huh.
But
Oh, okay, so.
one of
And
the-
so
Is it
onions
carb
are high in carbs.
Huh.
One of the keys to this is the intermittent fasting, or fasting in general. I fell into intermittent fasting, but I have a friend in California that him and his they've been together for 40 years, they never got married. Anyway, his partner and her sister, sometimes he'll go 3 or 4 days without eating. And I used to have him on my radio show out of Las Vegas all the time, James Goy Jr. And he told me that he was 26, he's 60 now, so he's been doing fasting and watching his eating healthy for a long time. But and I said, well, the longest I've ever gone is 30 some hours, and I don't want to do that at my age. He's younger than I am. I just don't think that's healthy for somebody my age. And when the doctor they're called Two Fit Doctors on YouTube. That's their YouTube channel, Two Fit Doctors.
Okay.
And he was down and he ran into a barrier and wasn't losing more weight. And I thought he was being a fanatic because he went on a 10-day fast. And he about destroyed his health, in my opinion. He looked bad when he was doing that fast. And then he said he would never do that again. And he wasn't even really losing the weight. I thought he was destroying himself. But the fasting is really critical because that is part of the way our bodies are designed. If you get into the fasting, and even if it's just 12 hours, have a 12-hour period you eat in, that critical of having 12 hours off before the next meal is really critical.
On that fast, do you drink water? Do you take supplements?
Oh yeah, I drink water.
Do you take supplements?
Oh, and I
during
take
that time?
supplements. I have a row of supplements
But
this
in
big.
the fasting
Dwight, you're talking like
section?
doing it like no eating after 6 p.m. And in half of your fasting hours, you're asleep.
Right.
That's
8
what you
hours
told us,
of it,
that
you're
helps
sleeping.
to start
Yeah.
What's that?
fasting. That if
When you're
I don't eat
fasting.
after 6 p.m. at night, we've been trying to fast that way. Because if we go to bed at 10 or 11, we're asleep during most of our fast time.
Right.
That's why you want to do it at night when you start.
Right, so you do want to try at night.
Because I'm
That's
like you
exactly
are.
how I started.
And hold
exactly
on
how
I think you
your
told us that,
breakfast.
to try it at night before.
Yeah, that's exactly how I
Yeah.
started. I didn't eat after.
Like or you could- yeah.
But that was hard because I was used to having my bowl of ice cream, my crackers,
Yeah, 9
you know,
o'clock, you're
what
watching
am I
a
gonna
movie
do?
and you
Because I
want
was
You're
used,
eating cookies and whatever.
it's addictive.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes.
This stuff is
And yes,
addicting.
it's a
Oh, yeah,
craving.
it
You know,
is.
it's like I have to have my fix.
Yep.
I didn't need it, you know, I just had to have it.
But I'm sorry,
And
what?
even my wife and I both talk about it, that sometimes all of a sudden a craving will just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I have to stop and deal with,
Huh.
no, I'm not hungry, I don't need that.
Drink
Am
I mean, the
I
hard
hungry?
thing for me right now is I have 38 fruit trees that are full of peaches. I went through the plums.
Where are they?
I've got all this stuff.
I love
Well, the birds
peaches.
are all getting it because I don't eat all that
Some of
fruit
it's a
because it's all that sugar in there.
You could have brought them today.
Well, I could have. I have so much of that stuff.
Bring them
I have
Thursday.
peaches
Berries are
this big
so
on the
good this
tree.
year.
Bring them Thursday.
Huh?
Thursday.
Well, Thursday I'm really busy. I gotta go to the VEA board meeting and then I've got
Oh.
the well owners meeting. So I can't make it to Andy's breakfast.
Oh.
Not to interrupt you, you know how you said that you fell off the wagon, you had the ice cream?
Yeah, it happened.
I did that at that meeting Saturday. I had those donuts. Oh my God, the next day I thought I was gonna die.
You should have seen
But
him,
I
he
had all
goes,
this
I hope
sweet-
Dwight doesn't see me.
That's
He had all
exactly
this
what I
chocolate
said,
on his
too.
beard.
No, I don't want to be, I want this to be a support group, not a beat up,
Absolutely.
not a beat up group. We don't beat each other up.
I had 2 donuts, and I'm telling you what, I paid for it
There
the
you
next
go.
Yeah,
day.
you felt
This
like you
is
were
what you're gonna
lethargic,
find out.
actually.
Mentally, you mean?
No,
You felt
physically.
lethargic, you felt
Physically.
sleepy, you felt
This is
down.
what you're gonna find out. Once you get into this,
Yep.
you will know you did it
Yep.
because you're
Right.
going,
You
oh
ain't kidding, you
God,
will.
I feel like crap, I got a headache, I'm
Right.
I felt,
lethargic, my mouth tastes
yeah.
weird, you know, my
Yep.
bowel movements are different, you
Right.
know, everything. But drinking water is really critical too. Well, you guys already know that.
I was gonna tell her, if you have nuts, drink some water and nuts, and that'll fill you up. You
I
won't
know.
be-
Well,
you won't be as
what I'm
hungry.
doing is anytime that I'm gonna have a meal, I always drink a bottle of water
Yeah.
before I
Yeah.
eat.
They
Yep.
say.
And so I'm drinking maybe 5, 6 bottles of water, because I'll drink it in between too. And it fills me up and I can get by on a lighter, and I'm satisfied.
Well, you just started this. What time do you eat? Start like you wake up in the morning. What time do you eat? Just to get this an idea of what you're doing right now.
Okay, this is where I'm bad.
And it's no bash here. They're just getting an
Okay,
idea.
what do you
Okay.
think? Come on.
Well, let's take, I haven't eaten yet today, but yesterday, I didn't eat until probably 1 o'clock. But I eat at night. That's where I've got to, is, you know, at 10 o'clock at night, I'll have a snack.
Well, okay, then I'm gonna. Do you have any MCT?
But I'll have a good snack.
Do you have any MCT oil at home?
No.
What does MCT
Get,
mean?
you know, go get MCT oil. Like even Walmart does have it. It's,
Yeah, I think I've
it's
seen the
expensive
picture.
there.
What, is it like
The
olive
cheapest place
oil?
I found it is at
Sort
Costco.
of, yeah, it's on the same.
The
I think I
second, the
sent it
second
to you
cheapest
in
place
the
I found is on
Facebook.
Amazon.com, because there's a brand on there that Betsy and I started on until we found the stuff at Costco.
Does he have it
Yeah.
here?
She sent that to you in Facebook.
Oh,
At
does it?
Costco right now, has that MCT oil. I think I sent it to you on Facebook. It was $16.13.
Free
For
shipping.
what?
Free shipping.
For what?
It was
What
this
size?
gigantic bottle of,
32 ounces, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, well, I
That's what I
bought
was
3 of them the
looking.
last time I was there, but we go.
Yeah.
right now
but
they have it in sale on
MCT,
the-
here's what it is.
I'll show it to you
It's
in Walmart.
medium medium chain
Oh, okay.
triglycerides is what it is. And it's made from, it's hard to find non-organic. They always say organic
Yeah.
coconuts, but I don't know if there's such thing as a non-organic coconut, because they're grown in the islands,
Yeah.
they don't have all the pollution over there.
Yep.
But it's really fat. It's like pure fat, and it's.
Is it a solid or is it a
It's
liquid?
liquid.
It's in a big
Costco
bottle.
has it
Yeah,
right now.
it's
I mean,
almost
at
white
Costco,
like
Walmart.
that.
We
And what
bought
I
this
do,
one to
and this
start
is,
off
this is going
I see they
to
have
be the magic thing that's gonna get you going on
That's
this.
what he's
If you take that in, I take 1 tablespoon of MCT oil. Do you drink coffee?
Yes.
Okay. Take a cup of coffee, and what I do is I heat the coffee, because I use a microwave to heat my coffee. I make
me
it and I
too.
warm it up, so I use a minute and a half because I want to get it hotter than the normal one. Betsy, what does it hotter than that?
You
But
said 1 tablespoon.
but then I put 1 tablespoon of, that's the one that's this big, the tablespoon's like this size. But be careful on this, you might want to start with a half a tablespoon to begin with, because some people have trouble getting on to MCT oil, and they'll say that they get diarrhea or it upsets their stomach. It never bothered me, but it did Betsy, and then she got over that. You put that in coffee, take your butter and just slice off a little bit of butter, stick that in the coffee, it melts. The MCT oil doesn't need to be, you could do it in a glass of water if you wanted to, but the butter needs to melt. You stir that up and drink it, your appetite will go away.
Yeah.
Guaranteed it'll go away.
We have one every morning. We have a tablespoon of that.
Like in the morning, I oftentimes will start off with MCT oil about 10:30 in the morning, just to get because what it does is it starts you off immediately on burning fat. This is what you want to do, is get into the fat burning. So do that, and then at noon or 1, however you're picking your times to eat. This way, when you get up, if you feel hungry when you get up in the morning, if you were like me, because I was used to eating cereal and everything, and I'd be hungry, then if you wake up, and you do whatever you do, usually even when you're hungry, but do that keto coffee right off the bat in the morning. Or if you don't want to drink coffee
So
right in the
Costco,
morning.
like if you're like us, if you go in Walmart right now, those are the aisles at 10.
This is-
Dan and I got this one
this is
first,
gonna be a
but now
magic
they have
bullet
this
for you.
one. But see, it's an
Yeah.
aisle.
It is, it really is.
Yeah.
But it's not,
I
it's
agree.
coconut oil.
And it's
That's what it is,
12.92.
MCT
This
oil.
is what we got, but
Actually,
now I see they
coconut
have this one.
is a medium
If you want to try what
triglyceride.
he
Oh,
just
yeah,
did,
I did-
I
right
didn't know,
now,
it's
just
just
did
what's
one.
called MTC.
Okay.
It's telling you the aisle.
Put it on my
Medium
face.
Okay.
So it's in
triglyceride.
Walmart. If you're like us, try it today.
But,
I will.
and that's,
Microwave.
Plus,
the medium
Microwave.
before we
chain
go, I
is,
want to send you some
our
stuff I got
triglycerides,
from
the
that
medium
doctor
chain
he was
are the-
talking
are the-
about.
are
I'll
the
forward
good
to your
ones.
email.
and it goes by how
Thank
many
you.
carbon atoms are in the chain.
Because that's just what
Medium.
aisle A,
You go and
I3.
look at that salad dressing, it might have canola.
I mean, I can
oil in it.
text
No,
you a
A17,
picture.
All the
you
bad
said
stuff
this is the
in
better
ingredients.
one.
This is the one we
You
tried.
ever notice the
I don't know which one's
Salad
better
dressing,
than
you get a real
Ascot, but this is
education
the one
going
we
to
had. They didn't
I
have
went to
this one
Smith's,
before, Paul.
and I had a
When
really
we
hard
first got
time
it from
finding
him,
any.
Did you find
They
it?
only had
I've
this
never
one.
I
found
did,
it.
I found
Walmart
some
is
that
carrying
was-
more
it
organic
was
keto
Kroger's
stuff now.
I know, because I've been
Best
shopping
dressing
and
that I
there's things I
found.
They
can't
did not-
find.
That seemed
They
to
did
be
not
the
have this one.
healthiest
They
one I
only
could
had
find.
this
It
one.
didn't have any sugar in it.
But they're both highly
But the
rated,
others,
as you can see the
is
stars.
so loaded with sugar, and if
So maybe
anybody's
look
in
at them or.
diabetes or
Preservatives.
But I'm just
you don't
talking
want
like
that
now, because see,
And then I
you
think I
don't want that one.
told you
because
guys,
the other one
I
is
bought a
like
book
crazy
about
and
this
so
thing
fast.
that has all the
Yeah.
different
But I'll get
terms
make sure I
that
have
are
the
used
email
by
for his
food
Dr.
additive
Birch.
companies.
Oh, thank you, yeah.
I'll bring that, you can take a look at that, I'll bring that book down, you guys can borrow. That thing is like all these different names on food
Yeah.
labels, like what is this mono, find out that it's sugar, it's something that we aren't supposed to be even, how,
Oh, they're
like
chemicals, a lot of them. are
formaldehyde,
chemicals.
or something in there. But
Baking.
if you do the MCT oil, you are gonna find out that, oh my God, I'm not hungry. Then what will happen is you thought,
And you said do that in the evening. I
Or
think it's
morning?
more of a habit than being hungry.
Or do you do it?
You know,
I was just gonna say, the habit part is a mental thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I thought, wait a minute, I'm not hungry. So if I asked to persist, I might eat an avocado without even being in a salad. The whole avocado is about 250 calories, but I don't care. What my calorie intake, when I roughly figure it out, I'm eating somewhere between 1,500 and 1,800 calories a day. That's what I'm eating, just eating what I told you.
Within that
Because you
6 hour
take the bacon, take the eggs. I eat three eggs at breakfast, 3 or 4 slices of bacon, and I have the salad. And then the milk in my coffee that because I put milk in my coffee, I thought, well, there's probably a cup of that. That's so many calories right there. You start seeing these different types of calories.
Because I've been keeping track of my calories too, and I'm trying to stay under 1,200, and I'm going,
Well, here's the-
carbs, fat, protein,
Here's
calories.
Overwhelming.
Okay, here's the
This
problem
isn't
with that.
easy.
You know,
I'm gonna tell you the
something's
problem
gotta
with that.
give here.
You can toss yourself into a metabolic problem by going too low on calories. And what that happens, especially as we get older, we're more susceptible to it, is your body will you'll gain weight at 800 calories a day.
Yes,
You'll
that's
gain
right.
weight at 600 calories a day. Your body goes into a survival mode,
Yeah.
and it literally will start shutting down everything, and you will gain weight. I'm
Turn-
telling you, but
turns
I
your
would, if
muscle
I
into
was you,
fat.
I would try to stay above 1,500 calories. I would, for right now, 1,500 to 2,000 calories, and watch the weight come off at that. Because you're already gonna get metabolism challenged as you go into this year. It's already gonna happen, it's happened to me. That's part of the reasons that I go through those plateaus, is that I'm finding metabolism. Then there's ways of breaking through the metabolism situation when we get there. But it's not a smooth, but I wasn't looking for much. I mean, you know how big I was. Me, it was a health issue. Man, I gotta get my body nutritionally healthy. That's been my main benefit of.
Yeah, and I want
ketogenic.
to avoid health issues, and that's why I want to do it.
I fully believe. Now, when you go into intermittent fasting, if you can fast for 12 hours on and 12 hours off, I do it for 18 hours generally, but I'm used to it. I mean, this is what my lifestyle is right now, and I'm not hungry, so why? But what happens, your body goes into, it's a process called autophagy. And the term autophagy means self-eating. Your body is eating itself. And what the process is, and I'm not a chemist or all that, but your body starts repairing, breaking down damaged cells, repairing them. And you start rejuvenating. Now, people that are on ketogenics, there's all sorts of breakthrough studies coming out now that start having dementia. It starts reversing. I mean, because they said that what happens in our brain is that because we haven't been cleaning out those broken down cells and stuff, that it's literally clogged up the circuitry, and you start getting more clear-headed as you're getting into this fasting. Sort of weird, doesn't it?
No, I've read all of that and I believe it.
But it
And
really
actually,
happens.
I've experienced some of the stuff that you're explaining, and then what I do is I try to, then I figure, I'm not doing this quite right because I'm reading this and I need to adjust, and now I'm at this point of calories, protein, carbs, and fat, and I'm going, I don't think I can do this.
Yes,
so I
you
need to
can.
go back to what I was doing because I think I was doing it really well. And I was.
Yeah.
And I was feeling all
Can
the
I say
benefits
something?
too.
You're overthinking is what you're doing.
You're exactly
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I have to say that too, because like I said, when I first started talking to you, I don't beat myself up.
Nope.
And because I've been eating this way, I mean, I don't eat 4 eggs, I eat 3 eggs. Sometimes I eat 2, but I eat 3 eggs. I eat 4 pieces of bacon, sometimes I eat 3, depends on the bacon, But,
And you told us to buy that
But-
one
huh?
bacon. What was that bacon you told us to buy?
We did get that bacon, and oh my God, is that good?
What
Rice.
bacon? Because I'm
the
having
rice
trouble
bacon,
Rights.
Is it
Rights
rights?
bacon.
with
it's expensive as all get out.
It's
right?
worth it.
16 something a pack.
But when you think about it,
Walmart.
WRI, because I was thinking of
WRIGHT, but I have found it on sale before
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
But
Where do
then-
you
Boy,
buy
that's
it?
good.
Walmart.
It's
Walmart.
WRI, yeah, well, you could buy it at Walmart, you can buy it at Smith's, I know
I
didn't see
we
that
didn't find
Smith's.
it at Smith's.
I only found it
Smith's
at
has it
Walmart.
and Walmart has it.
Really? We
I
didn't
didn't
couldn't
miss it.
find it at Smith's.
Yeah, I've seen
Not
it at
even
Smith's
out.
before. And the other one is, at Costco, I buy bacon from them. They have really good quality bacon, different ones, thick sliced and everything. But I buy bacon at Costco.
This is the bacon
Well,
right here.
We quit going to Costco for years.
Right.
And then because my wife has been having to go to the doctor over there, and we stopped in over there, but I'm just gonna start going.
I'm just gonna show
I
you that. I'm
save,
not
I
gonna-
save so much
There it is.
money by going to Costco.
We bought
Yeah.
it at Walmart.
Yeah.
Walmart
I mean,
too.
I noticeably got, God, I go like, that's
So we went
$6
to
at
the
Smith's,
two
that's
pounds
$3
up to
here.
You count your
$16
driving back and
So it is
forth to
expensive?
gas.
Well, I have
But
to
it
have
was
a reason.
actually, we
but-
would buy bacon
But I have to have a
Smith's
reason.
by the
You can
butcher,
order stuff from
$4.98 a
Costco
pound.
as long as it's
This
not
tastes-
perishable.
It wasn't
Like
salty
paper
tasting. You know
towels,
how bacon makes you
toilet
really
paper,
thirsty?
No.
dish
This is
soap,
good bacon. It's well
toilet
worth the
soap,
money.
And it comes
Okay.
free if you order
No, that
$75
price
or
isn't
more.
bad.
And you have to join
It's-
Costco.
Yeah,
Because that's
you
what
have
I
to
was
belong to
looking for,
Costco.
is
Yeah, but I mean,
low
the
salt.
amount you save, and then
Our first thing
I
was it
did
didn't
because-
taste salty.
one of the problems we had with
I didn't
eating
look at the
salads,
ingredient, I just
my
didn't
wife
taste it.
overshot. Now that I'm doing grocery
Sausage?
shopping, our shopping bill is about half.
We've been eating
Because
sausage.
she would buy too much
We've been
stuff,
doing
and then we ended up
boar's
feeding the
head
chickens
sausage.
lettuce and
What's in
Yeah.
there?
stuff because it would start
See,
going
I
back,
should
and
get
she
the
buys too much
turkey,
of
the
it.
ground turkey
But,
sauce.
so when I go to the Costco, I
And,
buy exactly what we need, but I go in and go, they've got the best broccoli, the best everything over there. It's so
Yeah.
much more quality
At
and
Costco?
it's cheaper. So,
Well, it seems like the stores down in Vegas have better quality.
Even the regular stores like Smith's
yeah,
and
but I'm
Walmart.
looking at nutrition health-wise.
Yeah,
They're better in
There's so
Vegas
much,
than
most of
here.
their stuff is organic.
yeah.
You know, they've just really gone to the type of food I need to eat.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's expensive to go drive over to Costco if I was just making a trip over there. But, you know, I think there'd be a way that we could start up our own shopping club or something and say, I'm going to Costco, what do you guys need? And
That's
do
what
this.
my neighbor and
You
I
know,
do.
and
And we
then
hit
it's not-
Sprouts and Trader
It's not
Joe's at
5
the same
cars going over
time.
there, it's one
Yeah.
van going over there
Well, they
and
have
bringing
a-
stuff back and,
There's
you
a
know.
farmer's market here in town too.
Right.
Now, so,
Yeah.
although it's only on
So
Saturday.
But I'm looking at this as nutrition, and I'm not
Yes.
finding it here in Pahrump.
You know,
I know.
I'm not.
That's
Back-
right, it's more, your health is more important. I haven't had an aspirin, I don't remember the last time I had an aspirin. I don't take any.
This is my life. I'll take a
Yes,
trip to
that's
Costco and
right.
save my life.
Yeah.
we used to, not to be funny or anything, when we lived in Michigan, we used to do a liquors run. To-
Well, you know,
to Canada.
priorities.
To Canada.
To Canada.
We'd have $3,000 or $4,000 worth of liquor.
Wow.
For all the neighbors and the little small town we lived in, yeah, we had a whole list.
Yeah,
How'd you
it's
get
it's
across
what-
the
it's a
border
way of
with all
approaching
that?
it. But when
They just
I
paid
miss
duty
living in
on
the
this
Northwest, where
real
this
small
time of year,
amount of
there's
duty on it.
roadsides, fruit stands,
Yeah.
and vegetable
They
stands
just pull you over
everywhere.
and tell you to park over
You
there.
know,
and
we
they
just
go
get out of town a
look at your
little bit,
list
they're
and they'd say,
everywhere
"This
out
is
there."
how much you have to
But we
pay.
don't have them here like they have there. Let's
Cheap.
see what else.
Real cheap.
I think that this is gonna be really good, because you've already picked up MCT oil that you didn't know about. Don't beat yourself up on this. If you eat the avocado, eat the butter, eat the MCT, take the MCT oil, take the, dairy, you're gonna have plenty of fat. You really are, because another thing, you can eat twice as much fat, doesn't affect you. There's actually a chart somewhere, I had it.
Well, see, I'm one of these idiotic perfectionists and I have to, and the accountant in me and stuff, that,
But I'm a creature of habit. So when I used
and
to say,
so I want to get in and get all this, exactly right. And there is no exactly right.
Yeah, there's
Well,
no
I know
exactly
people that
right.
take it
Makes
in
it seem like
nature.
I can do
Everyone's
this, I can do it. That's what I like
Yeah,
about
because
Dwight.
everyone's different.
to me, once you start eating
Yeah,
a certain way, you fall into a habit. Like when I'd eat cereal, same size cereal bowl, I knew it was made, but you saw the same amount in, basically the same amount of milk in it, the same, junk food I was eating. So it's a matter of changing over what you were eating. Oh, the other thing too is I had to go through my cabinets and get rid of all the junk, and that was hard.
Right.
Throwing all those
Right.
chickens ate a lot of crackers and potato chips
Yep,
and,
yep.
and stuff. I
See,
go, oh my
fortunately,
God.
I didn't have
I
all
just
that, but
bought
I
all
have
this
to,
stuff and it was on sale and I gotta throw it out. But I have to. This is my life. If I didn't do this, I'd be dead right now.
well, see, I have to stay away from the
I don't have a choice.
markdowns, in the bakery department
Because it's a
at
good
Smith's,
deal. We
you
did those
know.
pumpkin cookies.
Or up at the Happy Bread having their,
Yeah.
Oh, that, the
and we
picture.
even we bought our own cappuccino. We bought a really Breville espresso maker because we were going up to having cappuccino or latte, and we couldn't stay away from the,
Donut or a
they got
goodie.
that bakery
Their
cabinet
food
right
is
sitting
high
there.
quality.
Plus it was $25 every time we walked in there.
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty expensive,
Yeah.
but they
But
got.
they're
they
so
got
gourmet,
good
though.
stuff.
I
It's
really
a
like
cut
that
above.
couple,
It's
but
a cut above
it's not a
anywhere
cheap
else.
date to walk in there.
No.
But
we
the
would
food's
spend
quality is so
$25
high. Yeah.
And now I can make my own cappuccino or whatever at home. And,
I got a question. Keto, are you allowed to eat wheat? Any kind of wheat?
No wheat,
Okay.
no
Because on my
corn,
own, I
no
quit
no
eating,
rice.
eating bread, except for this bread
Bread,
right here. There's
no
a
bread.
bread that's
Yeah,
not
but that's
made with
different.
wheat.
That's
Yeah.
made differently.
That's made with coconut flour,
Yeah.
almond flour, tapioca flour. Do you even know
Do
there's
you,
such thing as
Yeah.
Do you
tapioca
use
flour?
your email?
And Costco has flour like that.
Yeah,
Oh, and-
They have almond flour. and
Yeah.
right,
that.
and
So
they
I
have a
got-
really good price
have
on
it
And
in
you
it.
can
town,
make
too.
pancakes and stuff. But I didn't want to, I don't know, I don't eat that stuff. I really don't. I'm
I
a
know.
creature of habit. I eat bacon and eggs, or I eat ham and eggs, or I eat, or we buy the sausages. And at
Where
Costco,
did you
they've got
find that book?
2 packages
Online.
of sausages for like
Do you care which kind you
$10 or
get?
something like
Do you
that.
care what kind of sausage? What
There's
brand
a
are you
It's
getting?
Costco brand Kirkland sausage.
Kirkland.
Also, you can
So
order
regular
it and
sausage,
get
you're
it
not talking
online.
about that
Well, when I
boar's
walk
head
down,
on your computer.
if we go over to the store at Summerlin over there,
Okay,
if I'm walking down the aisle and on the right-hand side is the those, refrigerated cabinets, it's on the left-hand side. It's what it
Okay.
is. And it's on the far left, it says Kirkland sausage. But they got other types of sausage there, but I like their Kirkland sausage. So that's another thing I eat. So sometimes I'll have that at dinner time where we'll cook up 2 of those sausages. Well, they're about this long. And,
Now, that's a meal in
but
itself.
I don't eat, we eat some hamburger, but not very often. I can't afford the meat cabinet down here at, $19 a pound for steak or whatever they want down there.
What
That's
is-
kind of, but since I've been retired, that's kind of been out of my budget, what meat prices have gone to.
What about the sausage? What's in that? Is there other stuff, the chemicals in there that you
In the
don't
sausage?
want? Huh?
In the what?
What's the ingredients in that sausage? You have,
I don't know, pigs and chickens and,
what preservatives?
pigeon
puppy
beaks.
dog tails. Sounds like a child's
Eyeballs
home.
and
Pig tails,
So you
pig
don't look
snouts.
at-
yeah, I don't know what they.
No,
No, I know what you're saying, but I guess I haven't paid the attention to it.
yeah.
I know that I'm
Steak simple.
not, it's not killing me.
What sausage are you getting?
Just regular
We buy Johnsonsville up here when it's on sale, but at Costco, I've been buying
Their
the
brand.
Kirkland brand of sausage, because I found out from Kirkland that they won't tell you where they get any of their products from, but it's always the top of the line.
I know it.
That's what they'll
I know.
say. We won't tell you who
Yeah.
our vendors are, but you can be guaranteed if it's got Kirkland on the
Everything
side of
is
it.
the top of the
top
line,
of the
and they
line.
have canned salmon and canned chicken and
It's top of the
everything
line.
is top of the
I never
line.
heard that, huh?
You
Yeah.
gotta believe them.
No, it is
Yeah.
true, it is true.
Yeah, in fact, I bought a razor there the other day, last trip. I mean, you can't even tell you're shaving with it. And they won't tell you where they get in the blade, where it's at or anything like that, but it's the best razor blades I've ever run into.
Oh.
They won't carry things that
$17
are not
for-
top of the line, and that's why some things like maybe electronics, like a blender or something, or a toaster is maybe a little more expensive, but because it's the top of the line, but it's actually cheaper at Costco.
Are you referring to Costco?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
The other thing is, they will add the cost, they make the vendor cover their warranty. Like, for instance, if it was a TV and they come with a 1-year warranty, no, it's a 2 or 3-year warranty with Costco. But the components are different too. When they, on their computers, they tell the manufacturer what processors they want, what hard drive they want and everything. So just because it says an Apple, it's the top of the line Apple. There's no cheap components in it all.
And Walmart's the other way around.
It's absolutely.
Where they'll have their Dell
Cheapest.
computer or whatever, they'll put in the cheapest,
Yep.
junk in there, and so you're getting a good deal, but you're getting what you paid for, which is bottom of the
That's
line.
exactly, you just hit it right on the nose.
Yep.
So I'm trying to think how we can help you get going.
You know what, I think I started out and it was pretty simple, and I was keeping track of my carbs and my calories, and I was doing just fine. And then I start reading more stuff, and I'm thinking, I need to do it this way, and I started changing, and I need to go back to what I was doing because it was working. I was feeling better, I was feeling satisfied, and I need to go back to what I was doing and do the calories and the carbs, and go ahead and eat my cheese and my cottage cheese and stuff, but and I eat more fatty meats, like I've got a chuck roast right now in the crock pot. Where before I used to buy the leanest meat.
You want fat.
Huh.
Well, another thing, on YouTube, there's Dr. Berg. You can write his name down.
I looked him up, and then I ended up on some Amazon thing, and it wanted me to log
Dr.
in
Berg
and
is
a bunch
really
of
What I
good.
was
stuff.
gonna do, Dwight, is, you told us to go to Dr. Berg, and I signed up on his email, and these are some of the lists you gave us.
Eric Berg is the guy's
Yeah.
name.
So I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's
send
what she
them to
gave it to
her.
me yesterday.
Another guy,
email. Like, that's why I said, do you have email? I can email them to you.
That's okay.
Could you open them up, and it's just what Dwight gave us. He's Dr.
what did I have
Berg.
there, Dr. Berg?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Some of these are the list you gave us here.
I like Dr. Bird a lot.
Yeah, so I'll
He
send it to you,
explains
Paula.
stuff. You're detailed. He not only talks, different to me. He has a board that he's already written out, explaining what, why. And there was a guy that I watched a video of. I'll bring it down next time we get together. He is a biochemist or something like that by training, and he broke down the whole process of how we metabolize food. It was a fascinating, and he took, he showed, like, when you're losing weight, you think that it's going out in waste. Your fat goes out through breathing. You breathe out through carbon dioxide is the fat leaving your body. Did you know that?
No.
The energy you're burning, the end result is it's burning out. And it's just like on a car, when gasoline burns, the residue really is water
Yeah.
in the exhaust.
Yeah.
That's why your exhaust pipes rust out and stuff. And that's why they have to coat the engine part. It's the rust because of the energy being transferred from petroleum. The end result is water. I didn't know that until I watched this guy.
I thought there was something wrong with the
But,
car with the water.
bone broth is another thing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bone broth. Some people like that apple cider vinegar. I can't stand that stuff.
I don't like the taste
I
of it.
could not.
You know what I do?
Well, that
I
could be
make
bad for you,
hot
too.
water, apple cider vinegar, honey, and cinnamon, and it's like a hot apple cider.
Really?
Really, it's
It,
not bad at all.
it tastes
With the
okay
honey.
though, huh?
Yeah.
Because I just have a
If
real
you- if you wanna
problem
take it-
with.
We used to give it to our dog, so she'd get rid of those
The circles
teardrops.
under
Brown.
their eyes, she was a white boxer.
Huh.
Because one of our friends used it
Yeah,
on their
yeah.
horses when we were back in Michigan. It helped our horses.
I take it with me when I go on trips in a capsule form, because all I get is upset stomach, I take apple cider vinegar and it goes away. You'd think that would be the opposite,
Well-
but it isn't.
Well,
For
to me again, I've lost the weight, but it's more the health situation, like getting rid of the inflammation. Inflammation is what causes heart disease and cancer and diabetes. Is a major problem, inflammation. And by going ketogenic, you eliminate the inflammation. I don't have the arthritis I used to have. I used to have like skin flaps and bump, stuff that would come up on me. I've noticed that stuff's all gone. And I think that is the result of that autophagy, that it actually will take wrinkles away. Like when you're
Is this
losing,
the bone,
huh?
this is the bone broth that does that?
No, it's just the autophagy from fasting.
Okay.
So people that lose weight, the way ketogenics is and the way autophagy works, they don't have all that flappy skin hanging and stuff. I mean, you still can. I mean, I'm in my 70s, so I don't expect me to be like somebody in their 30s or 40s. But because the body starts digesting the autophagy, the skin, the extra skin, it doesn't need it anymore, so it actually eats it up and gets rid of it. It's kind of weird, isn't it? But it does do that.
No, it's great, because
Your
that's a
autophagy.
real concern. What am I gonna look like?
Well, your skin starts getting healthy. You say, "God, look, how come that person's skin is clearing up and everything?" It's because it actually is clearing up. The cells are being taken away that were causing you to look, rougher.
Will it reverse my wrinkles?
I don't know, but
I mean, if it prevents it while you're doing it,
But I know
will
stuff
it
like skin
also?
blemishes and stuff, because we get so much sun down here, you can hardly avoid it. But those type of spots and stuff all started disappearing. And I had stuff coming up like bumps and everything. They don't come up anymore on my skin.
And you didn't
They
get
stop.
saggy skin. We were raving about it.
Yeah, we were raving about that.
Yeah,
Go see
were.
Dwight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm attributing it to the fasting and the
Yeah.
and the eating the right nutrition. I am, but I'm not. I don't teach classes where I get up and do all the scientific formulas. No, I go by what normally you go down to the grocery store and get,
Yeah, yeah,
and this
good.
fits into what fat, protein, carb. You can do it. You don't have to go to some fancy health food store or anything like that. But I am starting to eat more organic because I just don't believe that we're getting the right nutrition by going to Walmart. An example, I had to pick something up for Betsy at Walmart about 3 weeks ago, and I thought, well, I got to get salad stuff here too. I mean, I'm just going to do it here. I'm not going to jump across the street to Smith's. And I got up and I almost turned around and went, took the stuff back. I thought, man, that is the worst looking
Yes.
cauliflower. That is the worst looking, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then I noticed, I said, holy cow, the prices on this stuff is higher than Smith's. And yet the quality isn't even half. Well, again, comparing Smith to Costco, I think it's another twice as good at Costco than what Smith's is having, which is really Kroger. Costco has really good food.
Have you tried the rice cauliflower?
No, what do you think of it?
We
I like it because, you know, like I'll make like ground beef or ground turkey with broth, either chicken or beef broth. I'll make a soup and I put cabbage in it, and then just for a little bit of a more of a filler is I put in, you know, like to take the place of noodles or rice, is I'll put in the cauliflower, and it just kind of makes it, you know,
Cauliflower's
it's
really good for you.
Yeah.
It is.
Yummy.
Yeah, I eat a lot of cauliflower and a lot of broccoli, a lot of spinach.
Yeah, I do too, and cabbage.
You know,
I eat
there
a
is
lot of.
carbs in those things, but it's a different, the way the carb is because vegetables take longer to digest. It's not like instantly releasing sugar into your bloodstream like eating a bowl of cereal, you know, or a
Cereal.
piece of bread or something like that. Well, I told a story that when I went to the Valley Electric annual meeting last, what was it, April, whatever they had the annual meeting, well, they served lunch, but it really isn't lunch. But I hadn't eaten in about 20 hours.
Cookies.
So
I didn't
I
eat it.
ate their, they had like a weird looking sandwich that was on a hamburger bun. And the hamburger bun tasted like I was eating pastry because I could taste the sugar in it. I mean, it's true. If I get around in like that, I notice the sugar right off the bat that you can taste it in.
I didn't
That's how
partake.
much sugar
Don't
they
get
put
me
in
going
bread.
on Valley Electric.
But it makes sense because they're trying to raise bread by, you know, chemical reaction between yeast and flour and sugar. Because they have starter, when people are making bread, they'll also starter and they'll have sugar in it, and you know, they're feeding the yeast the sugar.
Well,
But they really pile it on in bread.
Well,
Oh,
yeast,
yeah.
you need yeast sugar for the yeast, so that it will produce the whatever it does. They might add extra, but there's so much, you have to have so much sugar for the yeast, or honey for the yeast. That's what I read in that book right there. I don't know nothing about it.
Well, there's so much free, that's another thing. I bought books on the ketogenic, but I'm finding that, geez, I really probably didn't need to buy that book because there's so much online that if I just do enough searching, something comes up free. Like Dr. Berg's stuff, most of these people on YouTube are trying to make money too off of it. You know, so get on my 21-day program and stuff. But I don't really need to because I don't have to have somebody else tell me what a 21-day program. But this beginner's guide to healthy keto and intermittent fasting, I got this free off of the internet. Dr. Berg,
How do you spell Berg?
get health, lose weight, and feel great. Beginner's guide to health is free.
That's what I'll be sending you
this
in
whole
the
thing
email.
right
I want
here.
to see how you spell his name.
Right here.
B-E-R-G.
Yeah, it's
Spelled
free.
it wrong.
So he gives, I think he's one of the best. Ford Brewer, if you have heart problems or health problems like I have, I think Dr. Ford Brewer is excellent on, because he talks about, you know, high fat, medium, and what his story is, he actually taught nutrition to doctors at Harvard Medical School. And he found out that everything he taught all these doctors over a 30-year career or whatever it was, he was embarrassed of what he had been teaching him. And he said the problem is that the nutritionists and the doctors all learn from people that have been taught the wrong stuff. So he's got a clinic down in Florida for longevity and health. He reversed cardiovascular disease in his own body. And he has all the, and if you look at his videos, he has all the testing and everything. He shows it, you know, that, I mean, he's another amazing guy. Most of this is learning to eat the way people were meant to eat. And people, you know, I know my mom and dad talked about this. There was times that they didn't eat dinner and stuff like that. They didn't have the money for the food and everything, and you know, they,
Yeah, I know, depression, and my grandparents and my parents, you know, there were days that they only ate what was in their garden and
Yep.
they,
Yes.
you know, if you
Yeah,
don't
we
have
can. When I
money.
was a kid,
Yeah.
my grandmother, my aunt, my mom would have us in the kitchen. Oh my God, I hated that. Wanted to be out playing. And then, now it's time that we gotta put up the canning. They had everything. They had like a root cellar thing at the house.
Oh, I know,
And
yeah.
and they'd say, go out and get some peaches, or, you'd have to go out and
Yes.
get the spider webs out of the way. And they had potatoes in there, they had apples, all the stuff off the trees were down there in the dark. That's the way I was raised. And my dad went hunting, and my dad was he was a tugboat captain. And so we had access to the pier because he worked for the federal government. We had crab pots down there, we had fish that we were raised off. We never went and bought anything.
We had chickens
Chicken, we did too.
and I remember plucking the
And it was
darn
a
things,
constant
too.
job keeping the neighbors' dogs from killing our chicken.
Yeah.
Constant job.
We had a
Yeah.
dog that protected us.
Because nobody used to keep their dogs in their own yards or anything. They would just turn loose to the world.
Not
Same way with
fenced
cat,
in.
But the other thing that we were taught also is to clean our plates, which wasn't such
Oh,
a great
everything.
idea either.
If I
What-
didn't, I'd get in trouble.
Oh,
Like,
I know.
wham!
Us too,
I spent a
us
lot
too.
of
So
time.
that contributed a lot to our
It
size.
did, it
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of
Eat
time
everything
facing a
like-
corner because I would eat my dinner and my mom would say, that's breakfast.
Well, that's.
That was breakfast.
We
She would
didn't
take
go
the
in the
stuff and-
corner, we just had to sit there until we ate it. And we were told it tastes better warm tonight than it will cold for breakfast in the morning.
And well, my mom followed through with it. And I would be crying, and I'd be tired sitting there, getting punished because I wasn't hungry. I wasn't hungry.
Well, this was usually something that we didn't like.
Yes,
You know.
definite. Peas.
When
My
I was your
sister
age,
was
we went
peas.
without food for 3 days because, you didn't hear that stuff when you were a kid?
No,
Well, we did.
Walk to school, walk to school 5 miles uphill.
We heard it.
I did
Store.
walk to school.
I actually did walk quite a ways.
Yeah, me too.
I walked to school too.
Not in the frickin' snow.
No, but it was that hot
But
California
no,
sun and
cleaning
that
up our
wasn't easy.
plates, and I think that came from the Depression era
I was
because
so thirsty.
there wasn't
played
enough
with poor.
food, and so, we were taught not to
We were
waste, you have
poor.
to eat everything,
What else you guys want to talk about? Anybody got any questions? Anybody?
I don't wanna be the bad guy here, but
Oh,
only
yeah.
because my wife used to do it, diet pop. That's the worst thing you can
I
do
drink
for
sparkly
your
water
body.
now, it helps
Oh,
me.
yeah, I don't
That's-
take,
That way in case it
Absolute-
goes into spam. I'll be
Yeah, I
sending
got
you
rid of
7
all- I don't
emails
take
from
any
them saying
soda
when I
and
go.
Oh, I know,
home.
yeah, I'm drinking
And that's
pop.
my name,
She used to
you know.
drink,
Right.
and
she used to
diet
drink
pop.
Diet Pep. She got off on
Now I
sparkling
do
water.
Arrowhead sparkly water because I think I'm craving the carbon. I want the carbon. I want the
Now
bubbly.
she can't hardly
bubbly.
drink that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bubbly.
Yeah,
Yeah, it didn't
she-
taste good last time.
I know, everybody's always coming
They
down on
tell you
me
it's
about
all
this.
natural, but it isn't.
It isn't. I
What's
don't
in
drink it
that-
anymore.
What's in that
Chemicals in it.
diet pop, is that aspartame?
Yeah, that's
That's the
Oh, my
worst,
God.
And
that's
not
the
good
worst
for
stuff
you.
you can possibly put in your body.
That affects your brain.
Yeah, it
Yes, it
affects
does.
everything.
Paula, he's
Bad
been wanting to
stuff.
tell you that since day one of class.
She wouldn't let me. She wouldn't let me.
And I wouldn't
I
let
know,
him.
I hear it everywhere I
Yeah.
go from everybody. I have made so many changes and healthy choices
Good.
that
That's your vice.
that's
Okay.
my last thing or
Yeah.
whatever. And when I try to switch to like Crystal Light or something, it still has the aspartame,
Yeah,
so
don't-
you know.
yeah.
That's why it's got it, because it says light on it, so they use those chemicals. That's
Sure.
That's a
so
good
bad
key
for
word,
you.
actually,
Anything but that, anything but that.
That's a key
Look at
word.
the
If it says
ingredients.
light, it probably has something non-real in it.
That's right.
It does, it has
point. That's a very
aspartame,
good
it's the
tip
same
to
thing.
people.
But no, I know, I have all sorts of friends that, and every time I see them, you gotta stop that, and
A shot of tequila would probably
Yeah,
be
there's
better
nothing-
than that.
For one thing, there's nothing dietary about
That's
Diet
over
Coke.
I know.
That's right.
It isn't a diet.
It gives you
gain-
craving for more.
Yeah,
because of the
It's the
chemicals in
chemicals and
there.
stuff that they've got
That's
in
why
there,
they put that
the
chemical in your
aspartame, and
body.
really bad stuff.
That chemical aspartame is affecting your brain.
yeah.
So right
Yeah.
now, we just don't have to be so strict. We could do bacon, eggs, do our
Yeah.
MCT oil with the butter,
Well,
Yeah. Salt,
and then maybe
well, that's
not
another
eat
thing.
after 6.
I use a lot of salt.
You
And I-
do?
Yeah, I do, because,
I can't eat a lot of.
well, I know, I didn't think I could either. But
I
I
don't
found
use it.
out that from watching Dr. Burke, that we don't eat anywhere near the amount of salt we should be, because we need that potassium and that, all that stuff in there, because we're, especially living here in the desert,
Get it while you
we
get
sweat a
cramps.
lot, you're releasing a lot every day.
You get
And we're
it
not
in your
getting it.
bacon, you get a lot of salt in your
Yeah, it
bacon.
does.
I know,
But-
that's
but
why I have to
get my
find low salt
Yeah.
bacon.
I buy my salt on Amazon, and it comes
Never
from
thought of it that way.
some salt bed in Utah. Really old.
Yeah,
Some
oh,
salt bed.
that has 59 59 minerals in it.
Yeah.
Himalayan salt has 86 minerals. Sea salt has 3. And their salt you get on the store, they add, yeah,
Yeah.
it's bad for you.
Yeah, sea salt
Yeah.
is not good for
Yeah.
you.
The
Well,
other
I
stuff-
quit eating salt because my heart doctor told me you can't take salt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
You gotta have
what do I
some
eat?
salt.
My blood pressure's 123 over 72.
Oh my gosh.
I used to be up at 200 over
Yeah.
120.
You're not taking any medication for blood pressure?
No, I don't take any blood pressure medications. That's one of the
Did you used
what I
to and
take
you got off
medication
from it?
for. I take heart medication for the electrical problems I have in my heart and for angina. And the angina, they don't even know what causes angina, but I get angina. And so that's where I use that Renaxa. And I have nitrate pills that I take if I start feeling in. But I don't take any high blood pressure medicine, no cholesterol medicine.
Did you used to take high blood
Yes.
pressure?
You
Yeah, 'cause
used to.
I was asking my doctor if I can get off from the blood
they'll
pressure
keep telling you, "Oh, no,
medication.
no."
She says, yeah, you know,